Hello everyone, myself Bhautik Trivedi, working as an assistant professor in IT/ICT department of LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. I will explain you the concept of TCP congestion control in advanced networking protocol subject. All of you know the concept of TCP, all of you know the concept of TCP segment structure, all of you know the concept of TCP connection management, reliable transfer, connection transfer, retransmission, each and everything you know regarding the concept of TCP. In today's session, fully focus on the concept of TCP congestion control. So let's start with this. So first of all, at least you know the concept of principles of the congestion control. And what do you mean by congestion? So what do you mean by congestion? So whenever too many sources sending too much data too fast for network to handle, that is known as a concept of congestion. Again I repeat, must remember the appropriate thing. Too many sources sending too much data too fast to network to handle, that is known as a congestion. Congestion control, that is the totally different thing from the flow control. How I apply the manufacturer? Mainly two packets for that. First one, that is known as a lost packet. Second one, that is the long delay. Long lost packet that's supported by the buffer overflow at the router. Long delay means using the concept of queuing in router buffer. That is the part for the long delays. So here you just see scenario number 1. What is the meaning of scenario number 1? First one, that is known as a queuing delay. Queuing delay means 2 sender, 2 receiver. Again I repeat, and here you just see in a diagrammatically point of view also, 2 sender, 2 receiver, one router supported the infinite buffer. Here not supported the concept of retransmission. Whenever any congestion in a network, that supported the concept of large delay. With using this you can directly achieve the maximum throughput. So queuing delay supported the 5 important points. First one, 2 sender, 2 receiver. Second one, one router, infinite buffer. Third one, no retransmission. Fourth one, large delays when congestion is there. And fifth one, maximum achievable throughput. So here you just see lambda in. So lambda in, that can be considering as a original data, and host A, host B, that is the sender. So with using this you can directly describe the scenario number 1. Here you just see the graph, delta in and delta out. Delta in means original data from the input perspective. Delta out means original data from the output perspective. So that is regarding the concept of the scenario number 1. Scenario number 2, that is generally used for the retransmission purpose. But here the logic is that one router supported the finite buffer. In case of the first one, one router supported the infinite buffer, but here one router supported the finite buffer, and here sender retransmission of lost packet. So if the packet lost is there, it directly apply the retransmission. So here you just see again the same scenario, delta in, delta out. Delta in means original data from the input perspective. Delta out means original data from the output perspective. Delta dash in means what? Original data plus retransmitted data. Original data plus retransmitted data, that is known as a delta dash in. So here mainly 3 important points: delta in, delta dash in, and delta out. After that, scenario number 3, congestion near receiver. So congestion near receiver means what? So here you just see the 4 senders, different multiple path. One path from the one sender, second path from the second sender. So here you just see with using the different color, I can directly demonstrate the different path. So here using the timeout or retransmit. So whenever the congestion near receiver, that's the logic for that. So again delta in, that is for the original data, delta dash in, that is for the original data plus retransmitted data. So what happens as delta in and delta dash in increase? So that's the congestion near the receiver. After that, these all are the different technique for the TCP congestion. Here which particular approaches, that is the part for the congestion control. So mainly two, end-to-end congestion control and network assisted congestion control. So end-to-end congestion control that supported no explicit feedback from the network, congestion inferred from the end system, observe the loss delay. That is approach is taken by the TCP. And network assisted congestion control, so router provide the feedback to end system. Here no explicit feedback from the network, but here router provide feedback to end system. So that is the network assisted congestion control, and that is the end-to-end congestion control. After that, TCP congestion control. So here some important parameters for the TCP congestion control. First one, end-to-end control means no network assistance. Second one, sender limit transmission. How I can calculate the sender limit transmission? So last byte sent minus last byte acknowledgement less than or equal to congestion window. Roughly I can directly say that rate is equal to congestion window divided by RTT. What is the meaning of RTT here? RTT means round trip time. Round trip time, that is known as a RTT. So congestion window, that is a one dynamic function of the perceived network congestion. How does sender perceive congestion? So with using the timeout or with using the three duplicate acknowledgement, you can directly treat loss event. TCP sender reducing the rate for the after the loss event. Three mechanism for that. One, that is the AIMD, second one, that is the slow start, and third one, that is the conservative after timeout event. So these three mechanisms that is generally used for the TCP congestion control. So let's start with this first one, TCP AIMD. So that is the additive increase, multiplicative decrease, that is known as a additive increase, multiplicative decrease. So multiplicative decrease means what? It cut the congestion window in half after the losing the event, and additive increase means increasing the congestion window by 1 MSS. By 1 MSS means maximum segment size every round trip time in an absence of loss event. Again I repeat this. What is the meaning of AI here? AI means additive increase. What is the meaning of MD here? MD means multiplicative decrease. Multiplicative decrease means it cut the congestion window in half after the loss event, and here additive increase means increasing the congestion window by 1 maximum segment size every round trip time in absence of loss event. So here you just see one axis for the congestion window and one axis for the time. After that, what do you mean by TCP slow start? So whenever the congestion begins, so congestion window initially is equal to 1 MSS. For example, MSS is equal to 500 bytes and RTT is equal to 200 millisecond. So initial rate is equal to 20 kbps. That's one example. And all of you know MSS means maximum segment size. RTT means round trip time. Available bandwidth may be greater than or equal to MSS by RTT. That is the logic for the TCP slow start. So when the connection begins, increase rate exponentially fast until the first loss event. So here you just see TCP slow start. When connection begins, so increase the rate exponentially until first loss event. So it double congestion window every RTT. It done by incrementing the congestion window for every acknowledgement received. So whenever you receive the any particular acknowledgement, the congestion window is incremented by 1 every time. Initial rate is slow but ramp up the exponentially fast. So that is the concept of the TCP slow start. After that, the last point for the TCP, that is known as a TCP Tahoe. TCP Tahoe refer to the TCP congestion control algorithm. which was suggested by Van Jacobson. So TCP Tahoe means what? So TCP Tahoe means that is a one TCP congestion control algorithm. So generally TCP based on which particular principle? So TCP is based on a principle of conservation of packets. So if the connection is running at the available bandwidth capacity, then packet is not injected into the network unless a packet is taken out as well. So that is the concept of the TCP Tahoe. After that, how network implement the concept of TCP Tahoe. So TCP implement this principle by using the acknowledgement. So with using the acknowledgement, how? So whatever the using the concept of the clock cycle. So whatever the outgoing packet, because an acknowledgement means the packet was taken off the wire by the receiver. So in TCP Tahoe, it directly managing or maintaining a congestion window also. How I can use the congestion window? Why we use the congestion window? To reflect the network capacity. So here in TCP Tahoe, you can directly maintain the congestion window also. And congestion window means what? That is known as a CWD. So CWD to reflect the network capacity. So different issues for this particular technique which need to be resolved to ensure this particular thing. So here you just see how I can avoid the congestion in TCP. So in TCP Tahoe. So here you just see that using the concept of AIMD. For the congestion avoidance, Tahoe using the AIMD. AIMD means what? Additive increase, multiplicative decrease. So packet loss is taken as a sign of congestion here, and Tahoe save the half of the current window as a threshold value. So whatever the CWD, you can directly save the half of the current window as a threshold value, and then after set CWD to 1 and start the slow start until it reaches the threshold value. After that it reaches the threshold value, it increments linearly until it encounter a packet loss. So here most important 3 points for the TCP Tahoe congestion avoidance. First one, that is known as a threshold value. Second one, that is known as a CWD, and third one, that is known as a packet loss. It increases its window slowly as it approaches the bandwidth capacity. This is regarding the concept of the TCP congestion avoidance in TCP Tahoe. And final point in this particular thing, the problems in the TCP Tahoe. The problem is that it takes a complete timeout interval to detect a packet loss. The most important thing is that the implementation is taken even longer because of the coarse grain timeout. It does not send the immediate acknowledgement, that is the problem in this. It's sending the cumulative acknowledgement. So therefore, go back and approach it directly generally using for that. Every time a packet is lost, it waits for a timeout. It directly generating a pipeline. So this offer a major costing in high bandwidth delay product link. So that's the problem in TCP Tahoe. So that's all about the today's session. Must remember one thing in today's session. First of all, talk about the TCP congestion. Second one, talk about the TCP congestion control mechanism. And third one, talk about the TCP Tahoe. So that's all about the today's session. Thank you for watching.